Welcome to another edition of Wings Weekly. Jake Line Connect here, along with head coach Scott Langer. Coach, a couple of big wins against the Brookings Blizzard here on Thursday and Friday night. Thursday night here at the Odie, a 6-3 win that featured Joey Strada getting his 13th, Colton Fletcher his 9th, Colin Raver his 9th goal as well on a power play. Tyler Bossert, a power play goal. Bossert's 20th, 21st, and 22nd. That's right, a hat trick for Tyler Bossert, and one of which was shorthanded. So a big night for specialty teams. Thursday night here at the Odie, and a strong performance by your boys, especially through the first two periods. Maybe a little pushback from Brookings in the third. And I think that first goal from Joey Strada that was 24 seconds after Brookings scored, it really felt to me like your players were like almost sending a message. They score first, but oh no, we're not having any of that. You're not getting any momentum in our building tonight. So overall, a pretty solid performance. But what do you take away from Thursday night here at the Odie against the Blizzard?
Well, we fell behind real quick, but to respond as quick as we did with Joey Strada's goal, that was huge. Yeah. I think that was the difference in the game. And since that point on, we really didn't look back much. Yep. Obviously big night by Tyler Bossert, having a natural hat trick and one being shorthanded. And, you've seen some real good play. You've seen Colton Fletcher on a breakaway that, open things up as well. But I just think offensively our guys were very in tune and, we were very good defensively. Yeah, Brookings came back in the third, and obviously they didn't give up. They definitely had some push going. And, at this level, sometimes you guys let off the gas a little bit when they're up by that margin. But, we corrected it for night two, and, it definitely was a concern having a period of that, in that manner. And then hopefully, getting your team back up for the second night. But our guys responded.
Yeah, well, it's interesting that you bring that up because that was something I was going to ask about. Is if they, you end up finishing a game maybe a little flat, even though started it with a lot of jump, but you end up a little flat. What the concern would be about going into the second night, but as you said, you guys handled it because they come out strong on Friday night there in Brookings, and right away the energy level was up. You could tell a more physical game it felt like to me on Friday night, and of course it ended up really being kind of a goaltending battle. Just a 2-1 win to move into sole possession of third place. A goal from Carson Dimoff, his 19th on the power play, and then Logan Genuine also a power play goal, his 8th of the season. What are your thoughts overall on Friday night? As you mentioned, there wasn't that flatness going from Thursday to Friday. As I said, I thought they started pretty strong. What do you take away from that matchup?
Well, I think it shows how far our team's come and the development of our players. Because in the past, when you've had periods like that, it was some hangover to the next night. But our guys are getting a lot more professional in their approach. So they didn't bring it into game number two. They knew they were on the road in a building that we haven't had a whole lot of success, and there definitely was some goals set. And like I said, our guys played a close one-goal game, and I think it's important to play a close game like that. And Forbes did a great job of keeping us in it and timely scoring. Get on the power play right away, and we didn't waste any time. And Carson Dimoff, who's been one of our most solid players all year, puts one in the back of the net, and then late in the game, I think it was under 8 minutes. We have a player who's intentionally tough battle there. He comes back over the boards, wants to get on the power play, and ended up burying the game winner. So it's a great effort, especially being on the road and knowing that we need those 2 points. Our guys. Once we went up 2-1, our guys played a great game, just getting pucks behind them and just shutting them down any way we could, because that's a good hockey team. Yeah,
it certainly is. You guys even things up with them 5-5 on the season, and of course you'll finish the season with them with another home and home. I want to get to the Logan Genuine power play goal here in just a moment, but before we get there, Coach, the special teams going 2 of 5 on the power play on Thursday night. Boy, I keep wanting to go Friday, Saturday, but on Thursday night, and then 2 of 5 again on Friday night, and on the weekend you go 1 of 8 on the penalty kill. Boy, it just seemed like the specialty teams were a strong performance both nights. And I wanted to ask you, what is it about any given night where one night the power play is especially effective, and maybe the next night not so much? Is it the way that it's defended, or what do you attribute that to?
Well, I think it's a little of both. I think, teams that prepare well, they have a plan, so sometimes it puts the opposition on their heels a little bit, and sometimes at this level again, sometimes you're on, sometimes you're not,
Yeah.
and that's just the level we play at. They're not pros,
Right.
Where they can, get it done every single night. But our specialty teams have continued to grow, and I think that's one of the reasons why we've had success down the stretch, and climbed into a third place spot, where we were so far behind. Coach Bone has done a great job developing that power play, and that's what you're going to need down the stretch,
Yeah.
especially if you do get, lucky enough to get into the playoffs. Your specialty teams are going to have to be good because there's not a whole lot of them usually. It's pretty tight, they let you play for the most part. So when you do get an opportunity, you have to cash in.
Yeah, without a doubt. And again, strong night. Weekend, actually, again, Thursday, Friday, 4 of 10 on the power play and 1 of 8 on the kill. So again, my hat's off. Coach Bone and Coach Langer are doing a fantastic job. And of course, the guys that are out on the ice. We talked about Logan Genuine, and boy, that looked really bad. I mean, he wasn't able to put any weight on his skate there and got helped off on the ice, then hopped down to the locker room. The Brookings trainer goes in. And on that same power play, just a little bit later on, he's out the locker room and over the boards, and as you said, goes right out and scores the game winner. It just kind of shocked me when I looked to see who it was that was taking the shot, that somehow he had, went back out on the ice. That it led me to think, did you guys see that coming, or is there ever times in games where there's something that kind of catches you off guard or by surprise, perhaps, or have you been doing this long enough that not much surprises you anymore?
Well, here's what I can tell you. You work really hard on establishing your identity. And as you know, we talked about it all year, really changing some things as far as the identity goes. And when you see a kid get hit like that, take a knee, and end up in the dressing room and then throws his stuff on, jumps over the boards, and scores a big goal like that, that makes a coach proud.
Yeah.
These guys are truly getting it, what it means to be an Aberdeen wing and what the standards are. I think when guys do that kind of stuff, it shows a lot of guys around them that, hey, even though you're hurt, you got to try to find a way. And that makes us proud as a coaching staff to see something like that. And, great for Logan. I mean, he's a gamer. We knew that bringing him in, but, he knew we needed him. And that power play was coming, and he was going to find a way no matter what. And it's awesome to see. Yeah,
setting an example, as you said, for some of the other players and so on that, and you see that, and it's pretty darn hard to not want to do the same and be inspired by it. So pretty cool, for sure. Well, looking around the league, Minot right now, of course, top the division with 76 points. They clinched the division and, of course, clinched a playoff spot. The Wilderness with 66 points, they clinch a playoff spot. Wings right now, as I said earlier, in sole possession of third place with 61 points. Brookings with 59, and then there's Bismarck with 56, and Austin rounds out the division with 50 points. 11 of the 16 playoff spots have been clinched in the league, with the remaining 5 to come out of the Central and out of the Midwest. We'll kind of get to how that all shakes down, because you have Brookings and Bismarck playing one another these next 2 games. You guys roll into Richfield this weekend, face the 29-21-6 Magicians with some momentum. You're 5-3 through March, and things going the right way, and you want to be hot at certain times, and certainly as you head towards what, as you said, luckily, and maybe not so luckily, and into the playoffs. It feels like you guys are kind of surging at the right time, and as the playoff picture kind of takes shape with, if I'm not mistaken, Austin is eliminated from playoff contention, and then it looks to be the magic number for the Wings is 3 points should Bismarck win, but if with a Bismarck loss, it would just be 1 win or 2 points for the Wings to be able to clinch. So how big do these out of division games this weekend, how big is that when you know that that the brass ring is right there?
Well, first, I just want to congratulate Coach Marty Murray on the division, title. That's awesome stuff, and hats off to Minot, for doing what they did this year. It's a great season. But, I mean, the best thing about our situation is we control it.
Yeah.
We went from a situation where we were hoping we had to count on other teams, and now we're in a situation where, the last 4 games, if we take care of what we're capable of taking care of, it doesn't matter what anybody else does. And that's a great position to be in. I mean, there's no easy games. You know what Brookings is going to be, they're going to be up to the challenge. They have been all year. And then, you look at the season that, Coach Myers has in there in Richfield, and, they're a good hockey team.
Yeah, they are.
It's not going to come easy, but you know what? Our guys have been up to the challenge here. And one thing's for sure, we're going to go down swinging. Whether we win or lose, we're going to play hard, and we're going to get the best effort. And, from a coaching standpoint, that's all you can ask for.
Yep.
I truly believe these guys are going to get it done. They haven't proved otherwise all season. They've always found a way to improve and to keep doing what they had to do. So, you know what? It's great going to battle with these guys, and we're heading into Richfield to take points.
Absolutely. Well, precedent has been set. Like you said, Coach, there's nothing throughout the season that I've seen, or I don't think anybody could point a finger at that would say that they aren't going to be able to get it done. These guys have battled hard, and again, in their control of their own destiny at this point. So that with that going into the Magicians there in Richfield, that's a lot of incentive, I would certainly think. All right, well, Coach, I won't keep you any longer here. I know you're a busy guy, you got lots going on, but we'll catch up with some players here coming up in just a bit. But again, thanks for joining me here on this first part of Wings Weekly.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back with the second portion of Wings Weekly when we return after this.
Let's make a taco. No, seriously. Start with a tortilla, soft tortilla. Warm it, kiss it. Don't kiss it. Chicken? How about tequila lime chicken? Now we're cooking. Slice this, peel that, snip those. Salsa? Verde. Cheese? Cotija. Oh, forgot to mention. Guac. That's better. See, anyone can make a taco, but we're not anyone. We're Qdoba, and these are knockout tacos. Qdoba Mexican Eats. Choose flavor.
Welcome back to Wings Weekly. Jay Klein Connect with you, and as I mentioned, we're having our second segment with players once again. Tyler Bossert and Colin Raver joining me, boys. I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to join us on the show and let the fans and people out there listening and watching learn a little about you guys and about your thoughts as a whole as a team. So thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
Well, Tyler, let's start with you. Big night Thursday night. You get a hat trick on home ice. Natural hat trick, and you end up scoring your 22nd goal of the season, and one of them being shorthanded, and one which I'm going to get to actually. But 4 shorthanded goals this year. That's pretty impressive. How cool was it to score that hat trick on, in front of this crowd?
Yeah, it was definitely cool to be able to do that at home. I got a lot of good passes, so can't really take all the credit, but so it was just, it was cool.
Definitely. Your mom and dad were here too, right? You got a chance to see it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, Colin, 9 goals on the season for you, 2 shorthanded goals, which again, I'm leading up to something with all of that. But and I don't know the exact stat, but I'm pretty sure you lead the team over the last 3 years over the Butler Cat hit of the game votes. So that's pretty awesome. But I wanted to talk to you guys as a whole about the direction of the team. You come in, or they come in Thursday night, then you go down Friday night into Brookings and get the job done, and you go move into a sole possession of third place. Do you guys feel like this is building towards something? Do you feel like you kind of have your eye on a bigger goal perhaps? I mean, and I'm not even saying just getting into the playoff, but do you feel like maybe it's steamrolling a little bit?
Yeah, I think we're starting to hit our groove and everything, and it's definitely the right time of the season to be doing that. Some teams are cold, some teams get hot, but right now is a good time to be doing that.
For sure. Tyler?
Yeah,
Same thought?
we're really trying to, we go into every game thinking about the 2 points, and, every game's 2 points and trying to win, and, we've been trying to take these series where we play the same team for 4 times as playoff series and try to, prepare ourselves for that. So, I think we're headed in that direction, and we're really excited to make a run at it. Excellent.
Well, good point. Never thought of that. When you're playing teams back to back to back, it is essentially what a playoff run would look like. You guys are vets and familiar with the community and so on. How much guide service, now again, we're at the end of the season pretty much, making you think back, I guess, to the beginning, but how much kind of guide service did you have to give, and how much did you have to be to some of the newer players that were new to Aberdeen? You guys able to kind of show them around where the good eating places were, where you do this and where you do that? And
right when everybody comes in, everybody doesn't really know what to expect. Aberdeen's kind of a lot different for most people, so we do our best to try to show them around, and yeah, like you said, tell them where the best food places are, stuff like that. But as you go throughout the year, they start to kind of figure it out on their own and figure out what a great place it is. So.
Well, and Colin, you're as a 3-year player here with the Wings, even on the road, the first time you go to the VFW Center in Bismarck, and stuff, guys are kind of going, where do we go in at or anything? You guys kind of, it just occurred to me that you guys probably had to be like, all right, here's where you walk down this hallway, let me hold your hand. So.
No, it's funny you say that because I remember going to Bismarck, and I always take my chair from the lounge, bring it into the locker room, and I already see someone's bag there, and I kind of give them that look like, that's my spot. And they're just like, what? I'm like, I've been sitting there for 3 years now. Like, can't really take that away from me.
Well, being a vet has its advantages, right? One of the things that you guys, in the locker room, for people who haven't been in here and stuff, there's a saying that talks about one of the most challenging things that a player can do is to understand and accept the role that each player has on a team to be able to make up a team. Everybody, there's a foundation, and then there's, whatever it might be. Everybody's got different roles. And I bring that up because you guys kind of have different roles, it seems. How do you see yourselves as, what roles that you have on this team?
Obviously you got your goal scorers like Bossert over here, and then you got the grinders that are working hard in the corner, which I feel like I'm a part of. But if you get 3 guys doing their own thing on different lines, like everything meshes together as one.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, I've always kind of thought of myself as an enforcer.
I can see that.
After practice,
Foil out.
After practice calling, I usually fight. I usually win. So, no, yeah, it's really true that like we're only as strong as our weakest link, and everybody's got their own role on the team, and it's really important. And yeah.
I brought that up, in part, because of the Life of the Hand Instagram, where you commented, Colin, like yourself, on that. I work in the back, no smiles here, or something like that. And it's true that you're a guy that is going to be in the board battles. You're the guy that if Joey or Dimoff or somebody's getting pushed around after the whistle, you're the one over there going, no, you're not. I'm not having any of that. And everybody does have a different role, and I think it's important that like the sign says that because you need each of those players, each of those pieces. It's kind of like a recipe in a way. That everything, if without one of those components or one of those ingredients, it's just not the same team. And I had to give Colin a little hard time in last week's show about your.
I heard about that. I heard about that from my roommate.
Because I was gonna say, didn't expect to see that from you. But I was like, holy cow, what a move. So that was pretty awesome. And again, I bring up the different roles because everybody does have one. But as I said, I think it's true that if you don't have all those moving pieces working in the same direction or something, it's tough to achieve the goals that you set forth. Throughout the season, throughout the years, in fact, I've had different players on at different times and so on, and they tell me who I'm going to have and who I'm not, generally speaking, based on who's available and whatever. But I always ask, or don't always ask, but sometimes I ask around the locker room, who's the goofball, who's the this, who's that? And a couple of questions I've asked over the years have been, who's the moodiest and who's the crabbiest?
Kevin Fitzgerald.
That's funny because your 2 names have come up a few times when it comes to moody and has the quickest temper. So if now is your chance to either deny that and defend yourself, or are you going to have to be, okay, I'm guilty?
I'm not going to deny it. Obviously, you have your good days, you have your bad days, but I definitely could see myself being the crabbiest person on the team.
Some days. Sometimes Raver has those days, but Kevin Fitzgerald is definitely up there. I know he likes to give everybody else a hard time, but without a doubt.
Definitely stirs the pot.
Yep.
If I'm having a bad practice or something and I see Kevin looking at me, I will just avoid all contact because as soon as he says something to me, I might just flip. And you don't want to.
He's poking the bear,
exactly. All the time.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I tell you what, you guys, I won't keep you much longer here. I wanted to ask you a little bit about your home life and so on, and it gets to be a little redundant, I guess. Each week asking different players, but in your cases, Tyler, you're from Fargo, North Dakota, not too terribly far away. You know, that's got to be pretty cool. And Bartlett, Illinois, Colin, your hometown. What is it like for you or your experiences to move away from home and your family and especially at first, you know, that first year, it's got to be pretty darn difficult to move away, and you know, you're kind of on your own.
Well, my sophomore year of high school, I ended up going to boarding school.
So I was going to say, you're a military guy.
I was used to it, yeah. I didn't want to have to bring that up just because I get crap for it.
We get it,
Culver
Colin.
and everything. But 3 years away from school or from home, and then coming here, it wasn't much of a big deal for me.
Yeah. Easier transition, I would think.
Much.
Yeah, it was definitely a little nerve-wracking. You know, you just kind of one day you just kind of come and you live with a whole new family. But I was really blessed. My billets are so nice to me, so good to me. So they made the transition really easy on me. And same thing, being around the guys all the time makes it a lot easier.
Well, and being from 3 hours away, you probably get a chance to see your family a lot more often too, huh?
Yeah, it's really nice. They get to make it out to a lot of the home games, so that's nice.
Awesome. So, what kind of stuff do you hear about from a military school? What can they possibly tease you about? Shining shoes? Well, I mean, what?
He does.
I do shine my
That's
shoes.
so
Probably the
funny
only one
because
on
he'll
the
come
team
to
that
the
does
rink.
it.
He'll be like, "I shined my shoes today, Tyler."
Don't step on my shoes, otherwise I'll be upset. But nah, it was worse. Definitely my first year when we had Daniel Billett, Michael Heitkamp, and Tucker Young, and we were all from Culver, obviously. So when we had court, there was a weekly Culver fine. So there was an extra few dollars towards us, but it's definitely died down.
There's a few dollars towards you at court if you were brought up.
Nope, not
Or
even
what?
brought up, not even bring up
No.
Culver. It's just like, oh, Culver kids are here.
That's
$1.
great.
Like, alrighty.
I love it. Well, I'm glad I asked that then, because I was thinking to myself, what can you possibly make fun of somebody for about that? But now it all adds up. Now it makes sense. All right. Well, again, boys, I won't keep you any longer. I know you guys got a lot of stuff to do, but again, I appreciate you coming on the show and talking a little bit about your experience as Wings, what your thoughts are about the team itself, and getting the fans to know you guys a little bit away from the ice. So that's pretty cool. Appreciate it. Remember, folks, Friday, March 31st and Saturday, April 1st, Wings are on the road, and they are over in Richfield against the Minnesota Magicians. Friday, game time at 7:15. Saturday, it's at 7:05. You can watch all the action at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Aberdeen or at hockeytv.com. You can listen to the games on 94.1 The Rock, hubcityradio.com, or the Hub City Radio app. So you have numerous opportunities to catch the team in action against the Magicians. You can watch it again at Buffalo Wings and Rings. If you aren't able to tune in 94.1, you can always, again, with the apps and on your mobile device and everything. Remember, Friday, April 7th versus the Brookings Blizzard. It's the final regular season home game. Military Appreciation Night. All active and veterans will receive free admission at the door, and then skate with the Wings after the game as well. So that's Friday, April 7th, final home game of the year against the Brookings Blizzard. And then one final, thing to mention or to have you remember, folks, is make sure you grab your tickets for the first annual end of the year banquet coming up Tuesday, April 4th from 6 to 8 at the Eagles Club. For more information, visit aberdeenwings.com. That will pretty much wrap up this week's Wings Weekly.